Hey everyone, today I want to take a look at the Rains Texel sling bag. Now, this is not really a photographer or a videographer bag. This is a little bit more of like a fashion bag, but I've seen this pop up on Amazon quite a few times. I hadn't really found any reviews for it, so I wanted to just get it in hand and see how it worked. Even though it's not a photography bag, it does have some features that really intrigued me, which is the fact that it has a nice waterproof material, it's got straps on the bottom, and it's thick enough and wide enough to accommodate something like an iPad and a small camera. So I'm going to do an overview of the bag, and then we're going to start loading out and see how it works. So what I'm showing you here is actually the back of the bag. This is a pass-through for luggage. And then on the back here, you do have a interior pocket, and this is just like ballistic nylon style material. Big and open, nothing else going on in there. On the front, you have another just big open pocket here. And that closes up just like that. On the side, now being a graphic designer, I actually love this branding here. Like, it's this really subtle, just bold font on the side. I think that's really cool. And this pouch actually has a nice feature here, in that this is a separate pouch meant for something like a phone. So like an iPhone just fits perfectly in there. That's great. Now getting into the interior, it's going to be a little hard to tell what's going on in here because it's just an all black material. And again, it's this nylon style material, but I'm going to do my best to describe what's happening in here, which is this is just a big open space, and then there is a larger mesh pocket on the back. This pocket here is just wide open all the way, and then the mesh is like another layer. So hopefully that makes sense. And there's no, oh, I'm sorry, actually, there is one tiny little zipper in here that can zip up the mesh. And then besides that, there's nothing else going on the inside. Let me talk about just the materials of the bag itself. This material that they have is really nice and smooth. It's like this PU coated style material that's really cool. The zippers themselves are really big and chunky. And to be honest, these are not the smoothest zippers. If you saw me a little bit earlier, kind of struggling with the phone pocket, and that's kind of what you're going to experience with this bag. And then the strap itself, I had some doubts about the location of the strap because it's sitting on the top. You know, normally when you have a sling, you have them sitting on the back and then they're going off at an angle. This is more of like a messenger style where the straps are sitting on the top. I had some doubts about the comfort of that, but it actually works out fairly well, and it is pretty comfortable just to kind of sit maybe like on your hip or slightly behind your back, or even in front. This is not exactly a sling that's gonna like sit on your chest. That's not really what this is made for, but it will sit comfortably in the mode that it's intended to. Now, what's not great is, first off, these can be removed, but this is just plastic. It does feel nice. There's like a smooth like coating to it. It almost makes it feel the same as the bag, but nevertheless, this is still just plastic. And the strap itself is just like a regular everyday, you know, you might find this on a student backpack, nylon material. So these are far from the best materials. And even like the clips, you know, this is all just plastic. On the bottom, they are actually very generous with how much these can accommodate, like a tripod, a small jacket, something like that. And actually there is like a little bit of stretch here, so I mean, you can get quite a bit into like these bottom straps. So how does it actually work for gear? I mean, if you take something like the X106, that fits beautifully in there. You can see that there's plenty of space for it to sit. And then I can get something like an iPad mini, and this is going to be one of the major cons that I will get into with this bag here. This iPad mini can actually fit in here, but it's a little tough to get it inside because these zippers that are here on the top. Normally with a sling bag, the zipper opening will like go down to the side slightly, so that way you can really open up the bag to gain its full capacity. But with these ending right here at the top, it really means that the opening is restricted, and it's not quite, I mean, you've got to put your iPad or a similar tablet like right at the correct angle to get it in there. I mean, once it's in there, you know, it fits great. This back pocket is plenty of room for an iPad mini, and I've got my camera in there, and I've still got like all these other pockets to put gear into. Maybe like, I don't know, a power bank here in the front. And you can see I'm kind of struggling a little bit with these zippers, because again, they're not the greatest zippers. Then I could even put wallet here on the back. You can fit things in here, and I'm actually going to take this out and see how it works for a larger full frame camera, something like the S5 2X. And it fits great in there. Right now I've got it vertical, but I could put it down flat. So I mean, there's even enough room to fit another camera body in there, or a lens or something like that. So this bag is really disappointing, because in some ways it's like the perfect form factor. It's the perfect size. It's got enough pockets to fit things like everyday carry things like your phone and like earbuds and cables and things like that. But there's a few things that kill it, which is this opening is just really hard to get things in and out of the main compartment. And you can see how much I struggled getting the iPad mini inside of here. And then things like the zippers just not being the greatest to open and close. And then the strap itself just being a pretty low quality. If this bag was maybe $50, I could definitely see like hanging on to this. You know, just if I needed to throw like a sweater inside, or maybe in the outside, or maybe I just wanted to bring like a single camera body with me and some other things. But this was actually $125 on Amazon. That's quite pricey for a bag that really is not using the best materials. I would say like even the nylon material that's on the inside, like this is a pretty cheap material. Again, this is something that you might see in like a student backpack. So they've definitely made some major trade-offs here, and this is really, really more of a fashion bag. Now, I'm not going to hold that against them. Like, they're not claiming this to be a high-end photography bag at all. That's not what this is. I think they're pretty clear about the type of audience that they're going for. But if you were like me, and maybe you've seen these bags plenty of times, and maybe you were a little curious just about how it would work. So would I recommend this for a photographer or videographer? Unfortunately, I can't. There's just too many compromises here. There's too many other bags, even slings that aren't meant for photography that you can still make it work for a photography setup. And there's just too many compromises here. Now, if you're finding this review because you just want something that looks cool, hey, this bag absolutely looks really, really cool. If it weren't for the fact that these zippers didn't like feel the greatest, like the big chunky zippers, I mean, that's cool. Just the overall look of it, you know, the font there on the zipper pull on the side, like all that is really, really cool. I love all that aesthetic. And, you know, there's some functionality here to be had with like the bottom straps and all the different pockets. It's just unfortunate that the main pocket is so hard to get things in and out of. So that's going to be it for me. If this review is helpful to you, like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.